You know, we see them every single day. They're pretty much everywhere. But what if I told you that the humble bird is one of the most misunderstood and scientifically incredible animals on the planet? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and look at some of the amazing truths hiding in plain sight. I mean, really think about it. That little sparrow in the bushes, the pigeon on the sidewalk, we see them so often we barely notice them. But their world is just packed with secrets that science is only now beginning to truly understand. For instance, that chirping you hear, you probably just tune it out as background noise, right? But what if it's not just noise? What if it's a sophisticated, complex language that scientists are starting to decode? And the way they fly? Oh, it's so much more than just flapping wings. It is a mind-boggling feat of biological engineering, something that aeronautics experts are still studying to this day. All right, let's get into this. So let's start right there with the two things we think we know best, how they fly and how they sing. But as you're about to see, there's a whole hidden layer of complexity that most of us have been missing this entire time. Yeah, scientists don't just see wings. They see what they call a precision machine. And that's not an exaggeration. Using super high-speed cameras, they figured out how every single feather, every muscle, every bone works in perfect harmony. We're not just talking about flying straight, we're talking about executing these insane aerial maneuvers, sharp turns, hovering in place, stuff our most advanced drones still have trouble with. And their songs? Wow. This is where our understanding has been completely flipped upside down. What we used to just dismiss as, instinctual chirping, we now know it's actually a really complex communication system that they have to learn. It's passed down from generation to generation, almost like a form of culture. So, how does it actually work? Well, it's a bit like grammar. You've got these short sounds that act like individual words. They string these words together into phrases. And here's the incredible part. Research shows that if you change the order of those sounds, you can change the entire meaning of the message. It could be a warning, a mating call. A whole conversation is happening right over our heads. So, birds are clearly masters of the things we can see and hear. But what about their unseen abilities? The stuff that's truly mind-bending? This brings us to one of nature's greatest marvels, migration. I mean, just pause and think about this for a second. How does a tiny animal, some weighing less than a pencil, travel thousands and thousands of miles over oceans and continents and somehow arrive at the exact same spot year after year? No Google Maps, no compass, how? Well, the answer is that they have a whole toolkit of biological superpowers. At the very heart of it is an internal magnetic compass. And get this, scientists think there are special proteins in their eyes that allow them to literally see the Earth's magnetic fields as patterns of light. They combine that sixth sense with the position of the sun during the day and the stars at night. It's like the most sophisticated, multi-layered GPS imaginable, all built in. And what's really cool is that we can now watch this unfold in real time. By fitting birds with these tiny, lightweight GPS trackers, we're actually mapping these invisible highways in the sky. And we're also seeing how things like climate change are forcing them to adapt and find new routes. Okay, navigating the entire globe is an incredible physical achievement. But what's going on inside their minds, that might be just as impressive. Birds have these surprisingly complex social lives that we're only just beginning to appreciate. Okay, get ready for some quick-fire facts that might change how you look at birds forever. Crows, for example. Studies have shown they can recognize individual human faces, remember them for years, and even teach other crows who to watch out for. They know who their friends are and who their enemies are. They're also expert tool makers. I'm not just talking about finding a stick. Some birds, like the New Caledonian crow, will actually manufacture their own tools. They'll shape a twig, they'll carve a little hook into it, all to pull a tasty grub out of a log. That shows planning and some serious problem-solving skills. And their social structures are anything but simple. In many species, you find what are called helper birds. These are basically older siblings who put off starting their own families to stick around and help their parents raise the new babies. It's a kind of selfless act that makes sure the whole family line has a better chance of survival. This kind of intelligence and complex social behavior didn't just pop up out of nowhere. To really, truly understand the bird we see today, we need to go back in time, way back. And we need to look at the very blueprint of life itself, their DNA. This timeline just puts it all into perspective, doesn't it? Modern birds are, quite literally, living dinosaurs. Their story starts with feathered dinos like Archaeopteryx. And then, when that massive extinction event wiped out most of the dinosaurs, it cleared the way for birds to just explode across the planet, diversifying into the tens of thousands of species we see today. And DNA is letting us read their history book like never before. We can trace their direct family tree back to the dinosaurs, pinpoint the exact genes that control feather color, and here's the absolute kicker. Scientists are finding incredible parallels between the parts of a bird's brain that learn songs and the language centers in our own human brains. It's all connected. So, this is all fascinating stuff, but why does it actually matter? Well, it turns out that understanding birds isn't just about them. It's about us and our shared future on this planet. Let's think about one last superpower, their vision. Many birds can see in the ultraviolet spectrum. That's a whole world of colors completely invisible to us. It helps them spot ripe berries or see which potential mate is the healthiest. Imagine what we could learn from that, designing new cameras, new sensors inspired by their biology. So in the end, bird science is absolutely crucial. It helps us track the spread of diseases, it helps us monitor the health of our entire environment, because birds are such key indicators. And yeah, by studying their amazing brains, we gain these incredible insights into intelligence, into communication, and maybe, just maybe, into ourselves. So I'll leave you with this question. The next time you look out your window or you're walking in a park and you see a bird, what are you going to see? Is it just a bird? Or is it a precision-engineered flying machine, a brilliant navigator, a complex social creature, a direct descendant of the dinosaurs? The next time you hear one sing, what will you imagine?